Hello and welcome to our second ever EVE Online video. Alpha goes to low second. Thank you firstly very much to all those that commented and gave me feedback on the first video through Discord, in the game, on YouTube, in local chat, everywhere else I spammed links to the first video. I wanted your feedback, I wanted to know how useful they seem to be, and thank you very much, it's been very positive. Going forward, these first two videos are supposed to be kind of your introduction to what you can do with quite low skills in low sec. We're going to look in more detail and more concise, maybe shorter videos of various aspects of stuff going forward, like fittings, like scanning, etc, etc. So bear with us, we are getting there. I'm measuring up how an episode might look, and your feedback is always welcome in that. As you'll see, I've started ratting. I've got this system a 0.4 to myself, and I'm going to just try to get as much done as I can here while that is the situation. For those of you that haven't really seen EVE before, maybe some of my subs from the other videos that I make, the old farm simulator, here's an EVE explosion. Destruction can be truly beautiful. Yeah, I will make some real starter basic what is EVE videos as well at some stage, because I know some guys that may be catching these links and not even familiar with what the game is. And I finally get my little fleeting compact Stasis Webifier. If there was a station in this system, I would dock and fit it right away. The fact there's no station is probably why it's so quiet. Anyway, I'm going to get on with this. I'm going to share some music with you while I do this ratting.
Look, you ain't gotta get mad when you lose fights, when you burn out all your guns and lose both flights. Rip drones with your geckos in the cargo, learn from mistakes that you made, it ain't high, yo. Fucked up, man, I should've been sunside. Got me isolated, up, finna take shots. Get your transversal up for me one time. Love for the blood guys when the sun shine. I'ma burn up and go reshift. I say good fight, I won't talk shit. Okay, I'm lying, sometimes I talk shit, but I'm trying to find a state of mind to keep me in line. Whoop the zero in my fleet, man. They always say, Captain, why you gotta be bad? I don't know, it's just rinse, repeat. Long warps, puff fails, lean back the seat. If it ain't got nothing blingy, then the fit ain't complete. Dank frags only come when you suffer defeat. So keep your guns loaded, cash where you can't fold it. Play to your strength and let your ego get bloated. You can't be the best forever, somebody else gon' put you to measure. If I can help it, I won't give them the pleasure. No, they scared, they ain't breaking the tether. Can't lose if you don't play, man, you better get it together. To the vets in the out, clones about to roam. Solo pilots out alone. Don't forget where you came from and how you've grown. All the friends that you got and the ones that gone. Yeah.
To the vets in the out, the clones about to roam. Solo pilots out alone. Don't forget where you came from and how you've grown. All the friends that you got and the ones that gone. Yeah.
Overheating the guns to finish off the clone soldier we finally found. Thanks to Captain Blasterho for permission to use that wonderful track, and there are more. They're on SoundCloud, there's a link in the description. I'm not really impressed with the booty actually. There's 16 asteroid belts, 14 asteroid belts in this system. I've got 3.5 million in loot. I've got 4 million in bounties. So that's 7.5 million, and it's taken me basically 40 minutes dead for me coming in. I've heated up the guns to kill some of the bigger rats a little bit quicker. That's me done. Nobody came into local the whole time. We're going to go and reshift. I'm going to have a break. Time for a cigarette, coffee. It's getting late. I'm in the UK, so we're on EVE time, so it's just past midnight. We've got these signatures to investigate. There could be some money there, so we're going to go and find ourselves my first Heron. And here she is. Now we've got the core probe launcher. We've got Sisters of Eve core scanner probes. They cost 2.6 million for a set of those. We've got the relic analyzer, the data analyzer. The scan range finding a array adds 5% to your scan strength. The cargo scanner saves a lot of time because you scan the boxes on the site before you waste time hacking them. We've got a nanofiber internal structure to make us a little bit more agile in case we need to run away, and a warp core stabilizer to keep us safe. For the rigs, we got the small gravity capacitor upgrade to another 10% bonus on the scan strength, and the emission scope sharpener, which boosts the relic analyzer module. And relic sites are where the money are, certainly in low sec, much more than data sites. And there you go, there's the full fit, 3.7 million, but 2.6 of that is the Sisters of Eve core scanner probes, which you are going to need, I think, in 0.4 and certainly 0.3 systems. We may find signatures we cannot get, but we'll see. That is to be discovered. So off we go on our little jaunt. We're back in the system. It's 20 minutes after I've left in the Cormorant, give or take. And we're going to start scanning down. I'm going to talk you through this process quite clearly. When it comes to actually doing the hacks, you have to forgive me, I am in low sec. I do the actual kind of hacking puzzle as quickly as possible. Anyway, here we are. We're going to move our probes to where they need to be, and remember you're working in 3 dimensions, so you've got to check on both planes, get them where you want them. I always start at 8 AU when scanning signatures. You only really need to go to the bigger ones when you look at the ships, but that's another episode. So it's going to take a little while for this to kick in. This system is huge. It is very, very big. So your probes have actually got to get there. And it doesn't usually take much time, but it does here. So there you go. We know it's here. We've got a little bit more of a confirmed position. So now we need to move our probes, which are basically centered around this box. This is just where they're all kind of focused around. We're going to move down to 4 AU range. Basically step down each time we move this around. So there we go again, analyze that. Local is staying empty apart from us, so we can kind of relax a little bit here, which is very good. I'm not suggesting for one moment you practice these kind of scanning skills in low sec. You do this somewhere safer for sure, until you're comfortable, because we can't cloak, we're alpha. We're exposed the whole time we're doing this. Now there's no reason you can't move your ship around from planet to planet or safe spot to safe spot as much as you like whilst you're doing this. It's not going to interrupt this scanning. Just leave this window open, click on your overview, warp to somewhere else. But at the moment we can just sit here. Now it's a combat site, we don't want that. That is not what the Heron is here for. So we're going to move on to the next signature and just start again, get it as centered as we can on both of those planes. There we go. You can just use the arrows to drag it left and right, up and down. I usually just try and grab the box. Because this is a big system, there's not much clutter. Sometimes you get a lot of pop-ups. We'll see that another time, I'm sure. So we'll start on this one, 8 AU again. Oh, sorry, 4. A little bit behind myself there. Now we've got a line. You basically just need to get this box right as close as you can to the middle of the line. I'm not sure quite what the line represents. It doesn't mean the signature is going to be on that line. You don't want to reduce your scan range, as I did there, just to show you it doesn't really cover those points at the end of the line well enough. So stay on the same scan range, otherwise you'll just waste time for yourself. You may even get 0%. There you go, it's right up over there. So it was nowhere near that line really. So we move up there now. We've got a bit more of a single point of focus. We'll bring the scan range down, let the probes do their thing, keeping an eye on local the whole time. And as long as that's doesn't get any additions into it, we don't need to descan, we can just chill. And there you go, percentage is up to 20, and it's basically rinse and repeat. Move him over, twist your view around, move him up, bring the size in, scan him again. And basically this fit on the Heron. With an alpha clone, you're never really going to be able to fit this Heron any better than this. It's your first and only Heron. Might not be the only one you ever need in one sense. It's the only one you're ever going to be allowed to have. We've got a relic site. Now that is where the money is likely to be. Data sites in general were less money. You get more empty boxes, I think, on data sites as well. There are some special data sites that will spawn in low sec. They can be big loot, but they're tricky, and we will talk about those separately. For now we're going to get on. I'm glad this is the first one we found. Now normally, certainly in this situation, I would scan and I'd start hacking maybe the first site at the same time, flicking between the two windows. I'm not going to do that here because it would be a bit confusing perhaps for those that are trying to follow along. So I've got that one there. I'm going to save the location. That creates a bookmark. I can right click on space and it will come down there. I can warp to it from there. So that's saved. It doesn't matter if I get interrupted. I've scanned down the rest of the signatures. It's rinse and repeat on that process. Again, we will look at detail at scanning in a short focused episode at some stage. I'm in here on the site now. I need to go to my general overview so it shows up the boxes. I'm going to take those off my overview, all of those rocks and bits of debris. They're just clutter, and I'm going to start getting on with this. I'm going to use the cargo scanner to give me, show me what's in the boxes. Some of them can be empty, some of them will just be rubbish. I'm going to loot everything I can here, to be honest with you, because I've got the time to do so. I'm going to just scan the next box ahead while I'm going to loot one. If there's an empty one, I'll miss it. If there's a really good one, I'll go for that maybe as a priority. But I've certainly got the time to do this my way. We're in the hack. This is basically about following the numbers down to where there is something good or potentially something bad. I will look at this in much more detail. As I said, I'm doing this kind of in real time in low sec. I want to do this as quickly as possible. It's practice makes perfect. There are things that will pop up on those lit points, which is what you've got, which is the one. It's basically a countdown. How close are you to one of those points, or the key or the lock that you need to unlock. Now that spanner repairs my strength, so that's good, but we've got the hack anyway. Not much loot, but any third of a heron in the first box, so we shouldn't sneeze at it, should we? Next one, we'll set the orbit. We're going to burn over to him. That's what the Microwarpdrive is there for, just to save time, because time is danger and time is money, etc. Lock up the next box and scan it as quickly as we can, but they're out of range actually. Now if you looked, I burnt in a bit quick, and you swing out of the 5,000 meter range. Do make sure you're in a nice orbit before you start this. If you swing out of range, it counts as a failed hack. Now again, I'm trying to follow the numbers down and avoid these things. They basically, you need to kill them, they can attack you back. That is a kind of a power up on your strength, so you can take those down. There's the lock. Anyone frustrated that I'm doing these so quickly, anyone can come in local at any time. It's low sec, never dilly dally. Cargo scan, that one. Contaminated Lorenz fluid. Now that's good, that's money. We're going to go and get that one. If there's contaminated Lorenz fluid in it, go and get it as a priority. I'm not too good at the prices on the individual bits and pieces that you get out of these, to be honest, but that is definitely one that catches my interest. And again, I'm waiting for my orbit to come back, look, into the 5,000 meters before I start hacking. Follow the numbers along. One. Right, we've got a shield, so that's going to protect us when we need to kill one of the blocking chips. We got another one of those. That's quite good. I'm trying to find my way around. That's basically what this is around. You kind of get the feel for these. We're going to use that as a shield. Take him down. Look around. That's a nasty one. That reinforces everything that's on the board. You need to kill them quite quickly, or you'll just get nowhere. Unless you think it's out of the way, and I think that one is, because I think I've just got to work into this corner. There's the lock. We've got in there. Hey presto, 11 million in that box. That's 10 herons, not including the probes paid for. So yeah, there you go. As long as we get the loot out safely, we're definitely in profit. I've just actually, there you go, shows me that box is empty. I scanned the wrong one. That's the one we just hacked. So on with the next one. Contaminated Lorenz fluid again. So yeah, happy days. Local is staying beautifully empty. I'm very pleased to say I can just get on with this at my leisure. I can't believe actually this system seems to have been untouched. I think I'm 5 jumps from Dodixie and 1 jump from high sec. But it happens. Just look around and use the time zones. So we've got to take out some of these. I'm looking for the way round. There's the lock. But I failed the hack there. Basically I ran out of strength on my virus analyzer to get in, so I've got one more go. If this fails, it blows up, and so does the loot. So I've got the spanner. We'll use that straight away. It increases us, basically repairs us for each quick click. Looking around, I don't want to really be clicking on the lit up ones unless I need to. Spanner is useful. We'll just apply that straight away. There's the lock. And there's the loot, another 2 and a bit million. So we're up to a lovely total. And that is in about 20 minutes of play. I do check the last couple of boxes here. There's not much in them. So nothing else. I did go and check the other site that I found. I found 2 relic sites in this. I went to the other one. They had 2 boxes left unhacked. They had junk in them. If you actually find a site like that, I'd suggest if there's people around in local, don't hang around. It's a sure sign that somebody else knows where that site is and may come up and join you while you're there. So I've been very lucky here, local to myself. In fact, since I've recorded this footage, I've done exactly the same thing again and made 20 odd million in 20 minutes. These hacks, we'll talk about in more detail. These are quite simple ones, to be honest. And as I say, this is the Heron you can start with. I've got fully trained up scanning skills for an alpha. That's really not much training at all. We'll look at the skills in detail when we look at fittings, and because they interact quite importantly. Which one's the goodie, which one's the baddie? There he is. We use the goodie on the baddie. Sorry, I'm making this so simplistic, but I could talk for an hour about this, and I've been told I mustn't make the episodes too long. There is my lock. I'm going to use that shield to make sure I don't miss the hack. Another million. There you go, exactly a Heron minus the probes. That's good. One more box. We may as well. There's no one else here. And I find this quite relaxing, especially when there's nobody in local. Obviously it can be quite frantic, and the scans, I can tell you what, I'm nowhere near as smooth at these hacks when there's somebody floating around in local that I don't know or I don't trust. So yeah, I've really got it good here. But you can too. You know, I've just flown here. This is nothing special. Anyone can do exactly what I'm doing, and I've had an hour basically by the time I finished this in this system to myself. Chase the 0, got the spanner. We're going to use that just to kind of counter the damage we take. There is the lock, there is the loot, all 37,000, it all counts, that's ammo. Somebody's just come into local too, just as we're warping out safely back into high sec with the loot. So there you go, we had that system to ourselves for an hour in the system as it were, and we made the most of it, I think, there. So we got the, what was it, 7.5 million in loot, we got 16.5 million in stuff out of those hack boxes. So we've done very well indeed, 24 million in an hour. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your comments and your feedback and your suggestions. Keep them coming. Leave a like please, because it just makes me smile. Leave a dislike if you don't like it, that's fair enough. Subscribe if you want to stay in touch. For now, fly safe, take care, and goodbye.